to Power Score RPG. This show is called Waffle Talk, the show where we discuss dice camera action. We just watched episode 107 with the guest star being Sam Sykes. It was a fun show. With me today, I've got some new guests. First, I have one of my trusty waffle talkers. Rena, how are you?
I'm doing well. That was a ride, so I'm excited to talk about it.
And with me also today is Andy Hatton. Andy, how are you?
I'm great. How are you?
I am super fantastic. Super, right? Yeah. And and so people in the chat, you might notice on the screen, your chat is on the screen. We're gonna try that and see how that works. So, don't just any questions or comments you have, please post them in there. We will try to address them as we do. Yeah, and we're off to okay, good. And also with us today is Soup. How are you?
I'm doing great. Thank you for having me on.
Thanks for coming on. All right. So, Rena, can you recap what happened on this episode of Dice Camera Action?
All right, so it opened up with Evelyn being a snail, Xanathar screaming as he goes away. Beatrix immediately tried to escape and just run away so that Evelyn won't chase after him if she's back sooner than expected. They visit the temple only to have a bunch of people watching them. Strix just takes off, and Diaz kind of causes a diversion enough so for him to run away. They get far enough away so that they don't blow up, because they don't know if the temple will actually blow up. And then eventually they figure out that, oh no, we need to take care of the kids, and end up going back to the house. That's when we go to our friend Cozen, who is, at first we think he is now working for the Xanathar through Jarlaxle, which is interesting. And when he shows up at the Waffle House, it turns out to be the double-crossing drow we know and love. From there, the unseen servants pretty much just attack everybody for unknown reasons. An imp steals the book and flies away. And then there's fiends in the house when Evelyn activates her divine sense. That's pretty much the overall what happened.
So I don't know if any of you saw, but on Twitter, Chris posted his notes that his session notes for this. And it's funny because we've talked about that before on the show, how Chris prepares. He actually posted a screenshot of his notes for this session and posted it on Twitter. And then apparently he said that Xanathar, because the Xanathar can break the fourth wall, Xanathar read those notes. That was pretty, I thought that was kind of awesome. It was weird because he did.
Apparently the Xanathar is also Chris Perkins.
Yeah, right. Yeah, and I thought that was awesome because he actually went ahead. There was 2 sentences there which pretty much told you the plot of this episode, which was creatures were going to come after the book, but it didn't really hurt anything at all. I thought it was really funny. That was a really cool idea.
I didn't even see the notes, so I'm going to go back and look at those, apparently.
The best thing about those notes was actually that it lists the spelling of all the NPC names, because I get it wrong every freaking time. So,
Sure.
Gnarl was Nar apostrophe L or something like that. I never would have gotten that right.
I
Not how I
spelled it like GNAR.
That's what I wrote.
Dan is a nerd. Diath versus Broom 2.0 was hilarious. Yes. For people who might people who haven't seen all the episodes, there was a live show a long time ago where Diath got knocked unconscious by animated brooms. Ever since then,
Witching hour.
he's been afraid. Yeah, right. And he's been afraid of brooms. And this episode, it came back to haunt him again. And this time, he was defeated in a strength check. Was it an opposed strength where?
Yeah.
Roll a 2.
Roll the 2.
That's
This is a 20.
yeah.
Versus natural 20.
Uh-huh.
That's just kind of sad, but at least it's on brand.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's against his favorite enemy, brooms.
And
If
today,
you multi-class into ranger.
Yep.
Diath. Actually, today was Jared's birthday.
Yeah.
In the chat, they called that his Happy Dorth Day, which I thought was pretty. Yeah. That's pretty good.
It's like because lots of people that I associate with go Hapborth, so that really works. Hapborth, Hapdorth.
Hap Dorth. Yeah. So yeah, his Dorth Day unfortunately had more broom-related humiliation, which was very, very, very unfortunate.
Mm.
Chris, it's my birthday.
Yeah.
That was my favorite.
So good.
Liz, that's a good. Liz Horn says, just spell fantasy names the way they sound and then add commas. It works most of the time. Yeah, but like, what happens? I should try that. But like I do like the wiki or whatever. And then what happens is I'll put the name in wrong, and then eventually I find it like Nazca, I think is actually spelled Naska.
It is. Yeah.
Yeah, not Noska. And it's like
I would have thought NO, yeah.
I'm wrong.
What I
Like,
usually-
go ahead.
what I usually do is I wait for the white text at the bottom to spell the name,
Oh yeah.
and then I like quickly change it in my notes.
That's a good idea.
Because like this episode, they had was it, and I spelled it Frint at first, and then the white text spelled it Frent, and I was like, oh,
Mhm.
okay.
That, yeah,
Lawyer.
yeah.
I split the difference. I had an I and an E in there. Just to be safe.
Just like cover all the bases. There.
Yeah. Just
Thank you, Ramrod, for the bits. You are the man. The emoji shield, ADOL 1004 brings up the emoji
Yes.
shield.
Mm.
Awesome. I guess we still don't know who gave them those presents, do we?
No.
no.
The group a few sessions ago, the presents were just in the house, and the group opened them, and they were a lot of them were like those minor magic items from Xanathar.
Every single one of them was. Every
Ah.
single one.
Hmm.
Yeah. So there was the Cloak of the Wing for Paulton.
Mhm.
There is the Horn of Silent Alarm for Diath that we learned today.
Oh, okay.
That's my favorite minor magical item.
It's a good one.
I love that one.
Let's see if I can find the other ones. Shield of Expression for Evelyn.
Plus one emoji shield.
Mhm. And then the last one was the spice one. Hold on.
The spice.
I have it.
Oh yeah, the spice one.
The spice bag.
Where is it? I know it's in here because I read it. Give me a moment as I find. Heward's handy spice pouch.
Oh right, Heward Sandy Spice.
Mhm.
Yeah, those are that's pretty. Someone I think had told me that those were just presents literally given to them by Chris Perkins. Does anybody know if that's true?
I think it is
Yeah.
because I remember seeing Perkins say that he liked his Cloak of Billowing. And if not, like he probably has an NPC that ended up giving them to him.
Mhm.
But I like it's just Perkins. Decided
The Perkins.
the Perkins.
The Perkins.
Well, I mean, today we learned that Xanathar is Perkins, so technically Xanathar gave them those gifts.
Whoa. Okay. Yo, mind blown. and he
Boom.
had agents going in and out of that house all the time, so that definitely could be. That's crazy. Oh my god.
Yeah, but it was because they got the presents before the house totally, entirely blew up. Right?
Mm-hmm.
So it's not like someone could just walked in. Although, I mean, they're pretty lax about security in general.
Yeah.
But so I guess somebody could just walk in. I don't know. But there weren't as many holes in the walls as when they first got those presents.
Now that shield, so in the book, that's actually a +1 shield, the emoji shield.
It doesn't actually say that it's +1. It just says that you can use a bonus action to change its expression, and it just looks like a person.
So Evelyn got a special magic shield, a little. Oh, interesting. And Adol points out
Bonuses.
that means now she has a 20 armor class, which is
Yeah, I saw
pretty
that.
freaking epic in 5th edition. You don't get like. There's not a lot of items in 5th edition that are like +2, +3, +5. It's like
No, I think it maxes at 3 +3.
Does it really? Oh my god.
I think weapons do. I don't know about armor, but yeah, 20 armor class for a paladin without wearing heavy plate, because she just wears a breastplate. It's pretty great.
Yeah.
She can cast, if she took Shield of Faith, she can cast Shield of Faith on herself, get 22 armor class. She's going to be tough to hit.
In 5th, like, if you have a +5 armor, you're like invincible almost, right? I mean,
one of the players in my group is an Eldritch Knight who has a 20 armor class. The wizard will cast haste on her, and she can cast shield on herself. So she routinely has a 27 armor class for rounds, and she is impossible to hit.
Holy cow! Yeah, that's weird.
It's like, that's a high.
Yeah, no, it's
What kind of bonuses would you need to actually hit that?
rough. Like +15, and then you still have to roll a 12.
Yeah. So, in the beginning, we pretty much started off with Kozin going down. Now, I don't really know much about Skullport. Do you guys know, like, where exactly? I mean, the Xanathar's lair. Where exactly was that? Do you know? Was it in Undermountain, or was it? I mean, what was that?
I think Skullport is like adjacent to Undermountain. Like I do think it's been a while. And honestly, a lot of what I know is from the board game. But I'm pretty sure Skullport is below Waterdeep, and then below that, even further, is Undermountain.
Oh, okay. Yeah. CG player says Skullport is below Waterdeep. Oh, all right. Yeah, because like, I was just kind of like, where are where exactly are they? Like, could you get to where they were through the yawning portal? You know how they have the well in there.
That's a
It
good
connects to
question,
Undermountain.
because you can get it connects to Undermountain, but can you get? I don't know.
Let's see. My character says it. 24 AC. Jeez. Let's go. Below Waterdeep Harbor. It is defended by flame skulls. Oh. He has a really. I don't know what I expected from Xanathar's like crew, but I didn't expect these people.
I didn't quite expect them to be so inept. I think.
Yeah. I didn't even realize that the dwarf with the minotaur horns was a call to like the labyrinth until he said later, Cousin, I think he's trying to be a minotaur.
Yeah.
Like, oh, that makes so much more sense.
Because he referred to it as he likes to think of it as his maze.
Yeah.
I just thought he was a weird dwarf, and then Cozin's like, he thinks he's a minotaur, and I was like, oh, I guess that is what he's doing.
He said he had minotaur horns, and that's like, oh, he has minotaur horns. Okay. That was funny to me.
Yeah. So Kozin goes down there and he meets all these weird people. The dwarf with the minotaur horn helmet, and the person who feeds the fish. What's the deal with that? Like, they have a beanie, a beholder beanie. They're all excited about feeding the fish.
That reminds me of the baby with the beanie and sweater. Yeah,
Oh,
the picture.
and
That's all that reminded me of.
do you mean the one that Maz made?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. And so this guy's got this beholder beanie, and he excitedly comes in, and so Xanathar has to switch from the fish. Oh, he said the fish was between 1.5 feet and 2 feet long, and then but he described the two containers that the fish lives in. There's one that's like 20 feet wide, and the other one he said was like a normal fish bowl. And like, so I was thinking, okay, well, wait, this fish is like 1.5 feet, 2 feet long. It barely fits in there,
Yeah.
then I guess, right?
We
Or maybe he
did
meant like
describe it as. I mean, maybe meant like more like a big like aquarium thing, but he did say it seemed unhappy in the fishbowl, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like it was freaking out. Yeah.
Which, granted, was maybe just because it was being moved.
Yeah, that's what I attributed it to. I didn't even think about that.
Did they feed it fish food? I don't remember what they fed it with. Did he say? Or
I don't think he said.
Yeah, I didn't specifically take any note on that.
why did they move the fish from a big container to a small one to feed it? I don't get that.
I know that's what you with snakes, but fish is weird.
Oh, really?
The only thing I can think, because this is not the first Silgar. There are a bunch of Silgars because it keeps dying because the Xanathar is inept. So the only thing I can think is this is like a ritual they can do to switch out the fish without him knowing, because they do it every day anyway.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't know, unless he took it with him somewhere and they're putting it back in it. It's like, I don't know. On the cover of Xanathar's Guide to Everything, it's just in a big goblet thing.
Yeah.
But it's got a little treasure chest in it, and it's cute.
When he described the big one, was there other fish in it besides that one? Is that what it was?
Just one.
Adol says for fish keeper view, if we can do that for separate feeding, we can keep the bowl much cleaner. Oh, they do have to clean them. Yeah, right. Yeah, on Xanathars, this is a tiny little thingy. So yeah, maybe they're cleaning the bowl. You're right. Maybe it just makes it easier to feed the fish. Yeah. And it looks like a regular goldfish, not a large koi. Okay. Because like it's like it was so weird that they moved it, and I'm like, this seems like kind of like a setup for something, right?
It was a very specific detail.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah.
I feel like Perkins wouldn't have mentioned it unless it was like important.
Now that has to maybe plays a part in Dragon Heist or Dungeon of the Mad Mage.
Yeah.
Maybe that will, if the players paid attention, they can use that in their potential kidnapping of the fish, because then they have a way he's out of the bowl at some point, so they can DF can grab him, or Paulton can turn invisible or something like that. But
maybe it's a thing where like the fish bowls have magic wards on them to protect, but when the fish is in transition, it's up for grabs, and so that would be the time that the heroes could do something like snatch it and run, or hold it hostage or whatever, maybe something like that.
Fish nap it.
Yeah, I guess, right?
What's a telekinesis ray that he used though? So wouldn't he would be watching during that time, using that one eye? I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. That was like a really weird. It's like an interesting detail, like it was like okay, so what is this? Is some kind of setup or something like that? The group might not take it at all, but they might, So it's just like,
well, and if Cozin's going to help them, Cozin saw all this happen, so he can tell them, hey, X, Y, and Z about this stupid fish you have to kidnap for me.
The other thing is with Cozin is like, so he was on those episodes in Iron Slag, and he had showed up with those other drow, and he betrayed those drow and helped the group. But in this case, it's like, I mean, is he going to turn on the group basically this time? Because I got a vibe from him this time, like, I don't know.
Well, so it's implied he was sent there by or recommended by Jarlaxle, which Holly and Jared's face when he said Jarlaxle was great. They both of them had great reactions. But so he's there, but wouldn't Jarlaxle be a rival to the Xanathar? So why would his recommendation mean anything unless he's defecting? I don't know. But he clearly is in it for himself, so he has to have a secondary or tertiary motive of some kind.
I was a little confused. There's quite a bit of talk about Jarlaxle, and it was like, okay, wait. So I'm still not sure if I have this straight. Cozen was sort of working with Jarlaxle, but he was sent to Xanathar, and so Cozen told the Xanathar, you know, I work with Jarlaxle, but he sent me here as kind of like a way, you know, for us to work together or whatever. But then I think he told the group later that he's kind of like a double agent or whatever. Like he's not actually on the Xanathar side, and that he actually wants to kill a drow down there. Was that Gnarl that he wants to kill?
I'm assuming it's Gnarl.
It's gotta be Gnarl, right?
It has to be.
It was heavily implied that it was Gnarl, and Gnarl also mentioned that he might have been Jarlaxle's brother.
Oh, I missed that part. Gnarl is Jarlaxle's brother, maybe?
Yeah, that was, I saw, it was like an offhanded comment, and I saw it being mentioned in chat a whole lot.
Because in Chris Perkins' notes, he lists Gnarl's surname, and it's, oh boy, Zebrindis?
Do I need to pull up the wiki?
Exbrindis, Gnarl, Zebrindis. And let's see. Where? I can't remember Jarlaxle's last name.
Yeah, what? I don't even know what Jarlaxle's last name is.
Okay, so I don't even know how to pronounce that, but it's giving me Baenre.
Oh, yeah, right. Yeah, there's Out of the Abyss, actually, there's one of those Baenres in there, one or two of them. I think that one is got that tower in the middle of nowhere that's sort of important. No spoilers.
He does run a Merc company, which explains Cozen's.
So like, all right. So Cozen is sort of working for Jarlaxle, maybe, to kill that drow down there. That's really the deal. And he just needs the Waffle crew to run interference. Is that right? Do I have that right?
It's kind of what it seems.
Yeah.
I'm thinking so.
Distraction of some kind.
Mm-hmm.
But he also implied that this would take care of Xanathar. So is his plan also to kill the Xanathar, or does he think by killing Gnarl, it'll just, without the Xanathar's, drow advisor, he's just an idiot? Because, I mean, this Xanathar kind of is.
Mm-hmm. Well, maybe it's like Cozen's going to bring him down there. The Waffle Crew's going to make a distraction force. He's going to, and he's going to kill that Gnarl and then flee, kind of frame the group for it. Is that possible?
Well,
wouldn't put it past him, but
no. It just makes the Xanathar dislike the Waffle Crew even more than he already does.
Except for Evelyn.
Except for Evelyn, sorry.
Right?
Except for Evelyn.
There was a point in the show, actually, where they could hear, I think it was the Xanathar talking, and the Xanathar was talking about how he didn't say Evelyn's name, but he said, I want her on our team.
But he also said about that he needed her out of jail.
Yeah.
Oh.
Hold on.
Yeah, because he said...
Was he talking about that cowboy lady that got arrested a few episodes ago?
I want her on my team, not in prison. Her family has connections, that kind of thing.
Oh. Well,
I see, because someone in chat said maybe it was the cowboy lady, but to me, she was already on his team, and I want her on my team makes it sound like he's trying to recruit a new person. To me
Yeah.
at least.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Wicked Ray Gun, Bane Ray is how you pronounce that. I see. Okay.
Oh, okay.
We're gonna Jarlaxle's still rolling with Camuriel. Yeah, we're getting into like Jarlaxle's from like, a whole bunch of those Drizzt books, right?
Mhm.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And from what I understand in the later books, those books are as much about Jarlaxle and some of the other characters as they are about Drizzt, right? So Jarlaxle's sort of like a big deal. Yeah, Miss 20. Yes, Evelyn has a 20 charisma. Is that true? That's insane.
Yes.
Yep.
That's insane.
Because
Awesome.
they've rolled stats, right? And she started with some ridiculously high charisma to begin with, even.
Mm,
Yeah, and she's got 19 Constitution also.
insane.
Because I was looking at her stats versus Holly's. Holly's are like ridiculously low compared to Evelyn's.
Really?
Yeah. I know her constitution also, though, I think was still bolstered from a boon that she got in the middle of the season 3. I don't know if that's still active. Is that still active? I think it is.
I think it is, right? I think when she was resurrected, Chris said all of her boons stayed intact.
Because it was a blessing from Lathander.
Yeah. Well,
You know, if they ever do new characters on this show, like they retire these characters and start with new ones, they should actually roll their stats on camera.
yeah.
Imagine that. That would be awesome.
Oh,
Like, like a 4 or a 5. Because I don't know, whenever I roll stats, it's not good. It's not. It doesn't come out good. And a lot of times it's just really lame. Like your highest stats at 13. So I would like to see that actually. That would be pretty cool.
Yeah.
But yeah. Adol is saying that I think Chris is making sure that what 20 charisma means using Evelyn. Because now she's a 20. She had a high charisma before, but now everybody's flocking. It's true. That's an interesting point.
do I need to pull up the
Yeah,
diagram again?
the Evelyn flowchart. All arrows pointing at Evelyn. Right? Maloon, Xanathar. I can't see. It's so bright in there.
Oh, there we go.
Paulton.
There you go.
I don't know. Does Paulton count? Maybe Omen. Right? Yeah, Omen. Flamebane. Really? Oh, because he's the creeper. Yeah. Yeah. That's a lot of people. It's amazing. But
Only put that Paulton counts because of his whole bardic inspiration stuff,
yeah.
and he does still care about her, so I put him there just in case.
Yeah, he got jealous too with the Maloon thing.
He for sure gets jealous, and
Yeah.
I think he's more into playing it as will they, won't they, than like Evelyn is.
Yeah, no, Evelyn.
She would like it to be yes, please. They are, I believe, is her view on will they, won't they.
Yeah.
That's true.
You, Chris, though, that on the Simon Says episode, Papa Paulton and Mama Evelyn.
Adol says Evelyn still has a 22 con. Is that true? It says in her sport. Yeah, really? Wow. 22 Constitution. She must have
Boons.
a million hit points. A million. I think Chris is also trolling Nate a little bit by by throwing honeys at Evelyn to get him off his butt. I was
Probably.
I don't know if Nazca or the Xanathar are honeys, but
Well,
No.
admirers?
Nazca had the crossbow hand. That's kind of cool.
I liked Nazca a lot, but there's no denying that dude was creepy.
Yes.
Yeah. He did stand outside their door for like 10 minutes.
Oh my god. I love just sad, standing in the rain, hoping Evelyn will let him back inside. She's nice.
And I believe he was living in their basement without them knowing about it for a couple days.
Basement.
No, weird at all.
And they never got
Cool.
to I think it got blown up right after that, so they never really got to see.
Yeah.
He might have had a weirdo shrine to Evelyn down there or something like that. It might have been something
Oh,
like
man.
Silence of the Lambs
Made a-
kind of a thing or something.
Yeah, made a
Yeah.
The
bubble
more
gum.
likely one is literally anything Xanathar related.
Mhm. Xanathar is weird. It's like, what is what is Xanathar? You know what I mean? They're not. Well, he's crazy, so maybe it doesn't matter. But I don't know. Just kind of like what? Okay, it's just for So what if Evelyn was like, oh, okay, yeah, sure, Xanathar. What? Like he got married. I mean, what is Xanathar?
I mean, who wouldn't really? Who wouldn't say yes?
I don't know.
Now I'm picturing.
He's
I'm
just a
putting
big.
wedding between the Xanathar and Evelyn, and he's got like a little bow tie, and that's it. Just,
He's really dashing now with his eye patch.
True.
He's pulling it off.
Does look pretty cool.
He's got that pirate thing going for him.
Yeah. Like I don't know. It's just I don't know. Don't know where they're gonna. I don't know. But Evelyn wants him dead now. She made that pretty clear in this episode. He charmed her, and she was very, very angry about that. Now she just wants to cut off all his eye stalks and kill him.
She didn't seem too upset when Paulton mind controlled Diath. So
Yeah, because it wasn't her.
yeah. Look, I'm not. It's just mind control magic's a thing in D&D, and it's weird. And
It is weird.
I am of a similar opinion of Evelyn. You just don't do that to people. I mean, unless they're clearly evil. But like, your love interest did it to another one of your friends, and we're just not going to talk about that. Okay, cool. No, it's fine. It's fine.
I feel like that's one of those things that got glossed over pretty quickly.
Yeah.
Yeah. It was intense though when it happened.
Yeah,
Mhm.
it was.
They were not happy, but they they did kind of let it go, I guess. Wicked Raygun says, in another life, Nazca would be wearing that nice guy hat. I guess, sort of. He was. Just,
You mean the trilby?
It was just like Nazca showed up at ChairCon, shooting stuff, and then Evelyn was nice to him and converted him to her religion with like a single roll, and he was just gone from then on. He just. I don't know. Well, you know what? We know that the Xanathar's flunkies are kind of weird, and kind of So here's this nice person, like kind of pumping him up with positivity, and I guess maybe it was just blew his mind a little bit, and he,
Put her on a pedestal.
he put her on a pedestal. He did. But you could put Evelyn on a pedestal. She's a good guy, right? She's a good character. Well, she's neutral good. She doesn't really do bad things, does she? I can't think of any bad thing that she's done.
I mean, she almost killed that baby once, but
I was about to say
almost kill a baby.
It's like I instantly like, well, there was that whole werewolf.
Yeah, the her wanting to be a werewolf, I think, is like the worst. The worst thing she's ever done. Kind of.
Where top of my head.
Where palm.
Not you can't choose it. It's you're a werewolf.
And you just let it happen.
No, it's rules.
I thought I sympathized because I thought that was really cool too.
Oh, it's really cute. It's a very cute image, for sure. But also, then when she almost killed a baby and it's like a werepalm, does it make it worse somehow? Like to picture this cute Pomeranian woman just covered in blood.
Yeah.
Especially because she has white fur and all that baby blood is just going to really stand out.
It's just going to get in there.
It's not coming out. It's not coming out.
You're going to have to do like 5 shampoos.
What was that? Oh, no. Only use cold water.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Otherwise, it just like...
There was that one episode where most, if not all of them, ended up being werewolves for an episode in at the beginning of season 2. And the chat come up with names for each of them, and I only remember Paulton and Diaz, which is Subwoofer.
Oh,
And Uncanny Doge.
Oh, so good.
Oh my god,
And
that's
that
so
just made me happy.
That's good. That was very good. Yeah. The group, yeah, I was always bummed that she never got to be a werewolf again, but maybe someday she'll get a chance because that was super cool.
It
She
should be a
got some
different.
powers
Did
though.
you
It's like,
like-
Yeah, no, you get some bonuses for being a werewolf. It's just you also crazy at night, and your alignment becomes neutral evil, and you might eat someone.
wasn't it like she was?
I feel like a different lycanthrope would fit her better.
Like a were-tiger.
Yeah.
like
Maybe a
white tiger.
werebear. I don't know.
Bear.
Were-boar. I like were-boars.
Were-boar? No
Wait,
way.
cool. They got little tusks.
Evelyn
would,
wouldn't.
Andy.
It doesn't.
Oh
isn't a
no,
were-boar.
I guess that's fair. I guess that's fair.
She could be, but I don't know. Let's see. Xanathar's used to getting what he wants. Oh, it's not romantic. It's avaricious. Oh, all right. What is it? Does anybody know what Xanathar's scams are? Like, he's all right. So he's in a crime group. What do they steal? What does he even do with the money? What's his deal?
Pays.
Buys fish tanks.
Is that,
honestly.
is that
Yeah.
what it
He
is?
furnishes the fish tanks.
That's funny. If that's
Yeah.
true, that's very like all of this crime is just so you can get a bigger fish tank.
This is
Well,
the
if
game
it's-
for him.
And
If Silgar keeps growing, like at least he's taking care of Silgar enough that it's grown that big. Because most of the time, goldfish only stay this big because they don't get a better bowl.
Uh-huh.
And if the bowl isn't bigger, then it will stay this size and it will die sooner than it should. So at least that. So,
and custom eye patches of that size have to be expensive.
oh yes.
He needed like 4
Food
goblins.
really adds up.
Fish food, yeah. Yeah, a fish that size is gonna need a lot of food. Yeah. I think he had 4 goblins just to put that
Installing
one.
the eye stalks up high probably costs a little bit too.
Mm-hmm.
Like
Home
you
security.
probably do a little bit of DIY with a telekinesis ray and just, but you need someone to hold up the everything and stuff.
All those custom beanies.
Yeah. That's the uniform.
It's true. They don't make themselves.
If you come into the Xanathar's main room
Yeah.
where Silgar is, you have to wear the beanie.
Everyone's supposed to wear them outside too, but they're all just like, we're not doing that.
No.
The Zentarum are going to make fun of us if we show up in these beanies. We can't do that.
Just in the lair. We're fine.
Just in the lair. It's all he needs to know.
Once, Evelyn feels like she got rohypnoled. That sounds about right. Wicked Raygun. I think Xanathar just wants to collect Evelyn like a Pokemon.
Yeah.
I guess. A shiny. Is that what it is?
It's a shiny.
She's
Evelyn's very shiny.
she's important to the city now. Like maybe that
Mm.
appeals to him on some level.
Rena has like 200 shinies, just so you know. In
No.
Pokemon.
Nowhere near that.
You're like a bajillion of them.
No. I do have one that I want to name Evelyn though because it's a shiny Eevee.
Aw.
Shiny. Adol, imagine when Strix hits 20 charisma, every fiend in the abyss will be obsessed with Strix.
Oh no.
She's at 18, I think.
It's got to be pretty high. She's a sorcerer.
Yeah.
It's kind of sad that that whole Skizix thing is sort of done, I guess.
There's always a
Yeah.
loophole.
Is it? Yeah.
Well-
is it really?
The deal with the devil and the worst devil. So he's got to have a way.
Loophole.
Yeah.
Also, it wasn't in writing.
Yeah.
Yeah, never make a deal with a devil without getting it in writing.
No.
And then cast see invisibility and then read the contract again.
Got to see the fine print
Yeah.
and the invisible print as well.
And the invisible print.
Let's see. Who in the Waffle crew hasn't at least almost killed a kid? It's fine. Wicked Raygun. No. Don't go down that road. Have they all almost killed a kid?
Has Paulton?
Well,
do Simon's actions count
yeah, Simon
as being proxy for Paulton?
Yes, because
What
Simon.
a gross negligence of those
Simon,
children today.
Simon killed a kid like first chance he got. That's true.
Man.
Yeah. Then Simon threw a kid in a box and cut holes in it.
Simon did end up getting a soul after having killed a kid, though. So I don't know what that situation is at all.
Well, okay, wait. But that was Simon 1 who killed the kid. And Simon 2 got the soul.
No. It was weird. Simon 1 killed the kid.
Right.
And when he got at the battle outside of the place, I can't remember the name of it, the fire giant volcano forge.
Iron
Slag. Iron Slag, that's it. Right outside there in the battle there, right before Simon got crushed, he went against what Paulton's orders, for the lack of a better word, was to go try to save him. And that's when Perkins said that he got the soul. So it was Simon 1 that got a soul, but it was right before he died.
Okay.
As per Perkins' fashion.
That's just mean, Chris.
Yeah.
That time travel thing really sticks out to me. It's such a weird kind
makes
of
everything
thing
confusing.
that happened. Yeah.
I find time travel very confusing.
Yeah.
Simon 2 does have a soul, though, because of the death from the Simon Says episode. So.
Right.
Wicked Raygun says, I think being a werebear literally has no downside. Well, I don't know. Were-pigeon for Strix. I think she should be a were-bat. That would be... No, she should be a were-raven. No. Yeah, were-pigeon's good, I guess. Pigeons are her thing, right? Were-owl? Yeah, that'd be cool.
Well, she turns into rats already.
That's true. Yeah.
Yeah.
Bunch of cranium rats, right? Wicked Raygun. For Xanathar, it's not about having things, it's making sure other people have less than him. That is horrible attitude. This is horrible.
Makes sense for Xanathar, though.
Does he ever leave that lair? Does anybody know?
Yes.
He does?
He was in the temple.
He was in the temple, yeah. Yeah. I mean,
I think he avoids leaving the lair.
Mm-hmm.
But
well, yeah,
some things you got to do yourself, right?
I mean, look what happens when he leaves. He gets his eye poked out.
Yeah.
True.
See, this is why I stay at home.
Never again.
And the idea that the Xanathar being a beholder is kind of a secret. Beholders are not stealthy. I mean, they're like 30 feet wide floating down the street. It's
like, don't mind me.
I feel like the guard's going to have something to say about that.
Just the I forget Holidays Day Parade.
Oh, Trolltide.
Trolltide.
Yeah, the greatest holiday in Waterdeep. I kind of wonder in the book if they're going to have how it's split into 4 seasons, Dragon Heist. I wonder if they'll have a holiday for each season, maybe.
That would make sense to me. That would make sense to me. Since they had official art for Trolltide and everything, so.
This is probably... So that was Halloween, right? This is probably a Christmas one. I guess it'll be like a July 4th.
Like maybe like Midsummer's Day or Summer Solstice or something.
Oh, yeah, both of those make sense for summer.
Yeah, good deal.
Spring, there's a whole bunch of holidays that you can work with from different stuff. There's a whole Golden Week in Japan. So
CG player, this is a good point. Seems like Strix could have responded more effectively to the imp taking the book. That's true. Remember, during the battle where they're fighting the unseen servants, the imp like snatches the book and flies out the window. And I thought, oh, she's gonna get on her broom and chase the imp. But
that's what I was.
She just let it go.
Nope.
She just leaned out the window and yelled at it.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, she did have the unseen servants harassing her, so there was that. But it's like there's distractions.
I mean, how much were they actually harassing her though?
2 of them did end up hitting, but
for like 7 damage.
Yeah. So I don't even know.
Maybe she just doesn't care about the book that much.
Well, she didn't even really get a chance to look at it, did she?
No.
So, yeah, I don't know.
Yeah.
But did she know that it was like infernal or whatever?
Yeah, I think so, because they had looked through the book an episode or two ago, just flipped through it, and they saw it was written in Infernal, and the cover was made of flesh, of a humanoid race, I think, and that it dealt with, I think, fiends, summoning fiends, something like that, you know, and but they just kind of put it away, and that was it. So.
Okay, so a Rakshasa had it.
Yes.
And it dealt with summoning fiends, but a devil took it. But we don't know what kind of fiends it dealt with summoning.
What kind of fiend is a Rakshasa?
They are a Yugoloth, right? Or Anoloth?
I think, if I remember right, Rakshasas are linked to hell, but I think...
Are they?
Because I know they go to the 9 hells.
Maybe I'm...
Vincent Trench, private detective. He had a secret room where he could, I guess, summon devils. I don't know. It's like, what's
originated
his deal?
in the 9 hells.
Yeah, they are lawful evil. Okay.
Does it say like they're? Are they just?
It
fiends?
says that they're created from devils.
Oh, okay.
From a dark ritual.
Okay. And their alignment's lawful evil.
To free their essence from the fiendish bodies in order to escape the lower planes. So they're devils? Question mark?
But they're
evil spirits in mortal flesh. They're devils. I guess.
You know, I keep thinking, okay, a long time ago, Mike Merles talked on one of those, like, I don't know, some show. You know, they have all these shows where they talk about stuff. He had talked about a storyline, a hypothetical storyline where the noble houses of Waterdeep get involved with agents of hell. And the devils want to fight the blood war in the prime material plane. And it was something like there was demon cults, and the devils wanted to work with the nobles to get rid of the demon cults. And like, so in Xanathars, there's 4 villains, right? In Dragon Heist, there's 4 villains. There's, spoiler alert, people. There's Xanathar, Jarlaxle, Manchun, and then this noble couple. Maybe in some way, this noble couple is linked to the devils, and that Vincent Trench is somehow involved in this in some way. Maybe, possibly.
Yeah, maybe. Some chat said maybe he's working for their name is the Castellanters.
Yeah. It's like
I don't know.
Yes, it's this couple, and maybe that's the deal.
An important detail that Chris Perkins kind of just like, as he was reading off like stuff about like fiends and stuff specifically, that he kind of like quickly glanced over was, but I took note of it, was sometimes these imp familiars are used by powerful wizards. I thought that was like a super important detail.
Oh, so it could be Manchun?
Wait.
Could be Manchun, yeah, right? There's a whole bunch of Manchuns, right?
I don't know for sure if this has anything to do with what we were just talking about, but there was the wizard lady that came and talked about the runes, right?
Yes.
And
they were altered.
And they were altered.
She knew about them enough, or she knew that they were the things that controlled the unservants, and then the unseen servants freaked out right after she showed up. So
yeah.
So, and if she's a wizard, maybe it has something to do with that.
She visited the house, and she went through the house, right?
Mm-hmm.
So she could, and she was the one who originally put the unseen servants there to begin with, right? So she might have changed them when she went through the house, because she was being super nice to everybody.
Yeah, that's why I wasn't sure
offering them a
about that
discount, like because she used to live there. That's a weird reason to give someone a discount.
Yeah, looks like Perkins slipped that one right by everybody. How about that? It was
Ah,
that lady. I don't remember what her name was.
I have it written down somewhere.
You do?
Stone Marrow.
Oh, Stone. That was the last name, right? Stone Marrow.
Yeah,
And referenced it at the end of this episode, but
Oh, really?
I didn't write it.
that was Broom Notes. Axel.
I think we cracked the code just now.
See, I'm trying to remember. I feel like because they did.
Yeah, that's all I have written is Stone Marrow. Sorry.
No. No problem. They did videos on all the bad guys right after they announced Dragon Heist, and I feel like I remember in the one talking about the Castellanters that they had some kind of fiendish connection. I swear I remember Mike Merles or Chris Perkins talking about that. So I might have to go watch that video again after this.
It seems like on this, because this season is 60 episodes long, right? It seems like Chris is using all 4 villains, maybe, from Dragon Heist.
Do you think he's going to do all 4 and they go to Undermountain as well?
Well, I think it goes, Dragon Heist is for levels 1 to 5, and then Mad Mage brings you the rest of the way. So maybe, I mean, this group's not 1 to 5, but maybe he's going to run them through some Dragon Heisty stuff, and then go to the Mad Mage for the last 30, maybe?
Makes sense to me.
Yeah.
Especially, and if Dragon Heist is 4 levels 1 through 5, and you only usually run one of the villains at a time, maybe having run all 4 will level that up a little bit.
Especially at the same time.
Yeah.
Not just one after another. It's
Xanathar was very powerful. What was he, CR 13? And from what we could tell, what was that last episode? Xanathar was more than a normal beholder stat wise, right?
I'm sure.
Yeah.
And there's also the fact that Dragon Heist it's been said that it is mostly a role play heavy adventure. Don't try to engage the villain because you will die.
No, you should not fight Manchun. Spoilers.
You shouldn't?
No, Manchun is probably like CR 22.
So you shouldn't get in a bidding war against?
No, you shouldn't, Sue, and I think you know that.
I don't know. It sounds like a good idea.
Let's see. Saw the problem with Asmodeus, but they never actually talked to Strix's family or Ezek. It's true. We don't know. Yeah, we haven't really. The Skizix thing is still kind of up in the air, sort of.
Sorry, go ahead.
No, go ahead.
So Dieth and Strix being near each other is no longer a problem, but doesn't mean that like Ezek and the rest of the Skizixes don't still want Dieth dead. Like they still don't like him.
True.
It's true. Wicked Raygun, sci-fi time travel usually has the pretense of trying to make sense. Magical time travel just blows you a raspberry and tells you to deal with it. I always just feel like, in general, it's so hard to make. I thought the time travel on this show was like so consequential. They all died. Strix aged 50 years. It was like a big freaking thing. So I think in this case it added, it was cool, but it's hard to make it, work well.
Well, my cousin is like, is that the same owlbear? What?
Yeah, but no.
Well, and it was like Dread Realm time travel, so how does like screw with things too?
Yeah,
because I do remember Perkins said that when they got back to Faerun, it was the same year that they had left. So.
It was just like, when I was a kid, I'll make this really, really quick. When I was a kid, I ran an Alkademe campaign. It was like over 100 sessions. Right at the end, I thought it would be fun to give the group a chance to go back in time and fix some things and actually just change the present. And it was just weird. And now when you think back on the campaign, you can't remember what counted and what didn't. Because one of the big things was one of the characters' sister died halfway through the campaign. And it was a big freaking deal. And, like, he saved her at the end through time travel, so that never happened, and it was just like, why did I do that? Because it just made everything weird. Like, did that?
Yeah.
So what? Like what happened in this and that? It was just like, it was a stupid idea.
Taking that and relating it to the current thing with the Barovian time shenanigans. It's like, what happened to all the dead NPCs?
Yeah. Oh,
They're not dead anymore.
yeah.
Or are they?
Yeah.
No one knows.
No.
They
Except for
never-
Perkins.
Rini DeLovely. I forgot about this. At the end, Evelyn sensed fiends in the house. 8 of them.
8.
A whole 8.
And I have no idea like what that was. Was that 8
So
invisible imps,
mean-
maybe?
they could be the rats and ravens
Because the imps can shapeshift into rats and ravens.
and spiders.
Oh. So 8 imps.
That's not that hard.
For this group, no. But if you look at imps are they got that tail sting. They can
Hey,
be
that
invisible
tail
at will.
stings.
Invisible at will? That's
Oh, that's true.
yeah.
Oh, and Strix's most common tactics of fireball will not be very effective against imps.
No.
But they
You know-
are squishy.
You know what
So
this
I
probably
mean-
means is that the rest of the house is going to blow up next episode.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
There's so little of it left.
I know.
What's there to blow up?
I don't know. There's still a second floor, so there's that.
Barely. They blew up the tower. I think
Wait, what?
Waffle's room is the only thing intact.
Waffle's room. Not even Strix's workshop is completely.
I'm surprised it has a working kitchen for her to make pies in.
Right?
Yeah.
That's the only thing. She fireproofed it.
Mm. Yeah.
Like, that makes sense. If it's fireproofed in the kitchen, that means things won't burn down as easy with the oven.
Mm-hmm. Adol, why wouldn't he be using all villains? He might even have a new villain just for the show. That would be awesome if he had a new
Things
villain
that
just for the
Perkins keeps to himself, or it was taken out of the books
show. Mhm.
for whatever reason.
I would like
He's-
to see Evil Evelyn come back. I think Evil Evelyn is
Evelyn.
freaking awesome. Evelyn of Shar,
Yeah.
who's still a construct probably. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
She's most likely a construct. And we just saw her like get disabled for a minute. Then she went away. And they
Did-
couldn't find the jewels for whatever reason.
was Evil
And then
Dorth
this-
still alive? Evil Dorth, did he
No.
make it? Oh, he didn't make it.
It's
That
He is
sucks.
like that's like what the one thing I remembered. I don't think any of the original evil awful crew survived. Except for Evelyn, who was part of the original awful crew.
Mm-hmm. She
Yeah.
was something else.
It's a bummer.
But they do have more hair. The hags.
Great job, guys. Great job.
The time travel was consequential, but it was also nonsensical. The important thing was the drama. Strahd is like so important. I don't know, for the show. That it was just like it was Strahd stuff, you know? It just always feels like
And-
Strahd is the big bad guy of this show. Just
And
always.
Chris said recently, I think on Twitter, that it's been too long since they've done Ravenloft or Strahd or anything, something like Barovia. And the Strahd puppet is still out there. So is the Strahd puppet going to go back to Barovia and be like, this isn't right, and fix it?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
That might be why there's crows in the house.
Maybe Adol says
Oh, yeah,
maybe the
yeah, maybe.
servants were the evil source. I think the servants have no alignment. I think.
I think servants are just magical effects.
Yeah, and Evelyn has used Mind Sense close enough to the house before that they would have set it off.
Mm-hmm.
Because
True.
she the Rakshasa down the street while she was like right outside.
Hmm. And but Adol makes a good point. The imp could corrupt the servants, so the imps could have been the ones who changed
Uh-oh.
those runes. That would be an impy thing to do, I think.
Oh, yeah.
Like just go in invisible and go.
Yeah, I like that. That's cool.
Just like that.
It's like that.
Oh,
It seems like what imps would do. Like that's
yeah, sure. And we could read on evil Evelyn would do so much more carnage in Waterdeep. Maybe, but they're used to stuff like that. That's they keep playing that up. Chris keeps mentioning that Waterdeep is used to these adventure shenanigans, so they might have stuff in place to put a stop to it. Hey, we haven't seen Elminster on this yet, have we? No, right?
no.
Oh, do you,
I think heard mention of him, but not ever.
do you think they would get Ed Greenwood to be Elminster?
They should. That'd be so
Should.
awesome. I've been waiting for that for a long time.
They've gotten a
Or-
Mordenkainen, so why not?
Get Sam Witwer to do an Ed Greenwood impression and play Elminster.
Yeah.
Imagine if they got Mordenkainen and Elminster on the same show at the same time.
Oh, and
And
they would
Strix.
need who used to be in the Dragon magazine articles where it was Elminster, Mordenkainen, and they would go to Ed Greenwood's house and there was a third mage.
Yeah, there was a lady from Dragonlance, and then there was it Kelvin Blackstaff? Was that the person, or was it? It was some guy with a black beard. I don't remember the name though.
Wouldn't that be Mordenkainen though?
Oh yeah, I'm just picturing the. I remember the art more than the story, so I just and most of the art was like somebody in a suit of armor shaking, their eyes, you could see their, like, oh, I'm so scared, I think that'd be cool, like, once Strix hits 20th level, where she gets to do something cool with Mordenkainen and Elminster. I would like to see that. That'd be really awesome, like her mage contemporaries, All right, well, we're just about out of time. Is there anything else we missed? We miss anything? Rivina.
Don't know. Let me go through one more. Just another. Go over.
Rivina 666 says Elminster is the ladies' man. Paulton finds Elle smoking his pipe.
We
oh
will.
no! We did so good today, everyone. Don't do that now. Elminster would probably like Evelyn, yeah. Why not?
Who
Another one. Oh no.
Who doesn't at this point, apparently?
All I know is another funny moment.
What?
When Strix was yelling about the unseen servants. It's like, they've gone rogue! And then DS like, what?
That's true.
That made me giggle.
Mm-hmm. You know what was
So that's
interesting?
the only
Actually,
thing I really...
like, Chris Perkins made an encounter for 12th level characters, 11th, with
11.
one imp and some unseen servants.
Yep.
And it was fine. That's pretty cool, I guess they really weren't in danger, but the kids were in danger, and that's...
The kids were in danger for
Yeah.
sure.
It's
So
just a matter of protecting the smalls.
that was an encounter where it was like, it was interesting because the stakes were different. I think that's pretty cool. Like, that's a hard thing to remember to do for me as a DM, is to vary the stakes, and also I always fall into the trap of, like, numbers. I hit you, you hit me, I hit you. But in this, he had an unseen servant put a sack over Strix's head, and then it was just like I don't know, like, you're just a beatdown, And it was like,
I just had flashbacks to when Evelyn was in the hot tub, and it's like, oh no,
Oh yeah.
let's not do this again.
what?
Well, and I liked how he made the unseen servants, like he said that they were hitting like children so that she wouldn't hellish rebuke.
Yeah.
Oh sure, because they're as weak as children.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it was like, and I just thought that was really cool because he keeps his head in story mode, and I have a hard time because it's just hard to always think, all right, my bad guys are here, what's at their disposal? You know why? Because it's hard. Like, how do you run putting a sack over somebody's head and everybody beating on them, right? What are in the way the numbers work? Like, when I put a sack over your head, do we get a roll? Do we do an opposed strength? But he just had it happen, and it was like, oh, okay. I think that's what I get hung up on, because I think I would have done an opposed strength or something like that, and then you fight. It's weird, But I thought that was
Well, they
really
could have
cool.
gotten like a surprise round.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
Surprise round.
A surprise.
Yeah, she was surprised. Yeah.
Mhm.
So in my surprise round, I put a sack on your head. And then we get some table legs and we beat the crap out of you. It's pretty good.
Just get some good sized sticks.
Well, the place is so trash. There's probably all sorts of like bricks and rubble that they can just just a beat down. All right, better wrap it up. Why don't we do some plugs? Rena, do you have any plugs for us?
Well, today the episode 5 for Dark and Dicey. I finally finished it and it got posted on Power Score RPG's blog, so that's good. I also finished the 6th one, so that should be up tomorrow. And I'm still working hard on those. And as usual, you can find me on Twitter at Miko_Karina or MIKO_CARINA. And I think, and every Sunday I play Winthrop the Jadark High on Dungeon Academy. And he's currently trying to figure out how to do motions.
Yeah.
So there we are. That's how we are.
There's a lady who likes Winthrop, and Winthrop has no idea what to do. It's very interesting. They're on a spaceship, and like 100 days. Every day she walks by, hi, and Winthrop's just like every day.
And every day he's just like, oh, how do I? What?
That's it. All right, Andy, do you got any plugs?
Yeah, I'm Andy Hatton. You can follow me on Twitter at Andy Hatton, Hatton. I stream D&D and some other stuff at twitch.tv/God of Roads, and all the videos are at YouTube/God of Roads. Tomorrow we're playing Masks, and next Wednesday we have the 2 streams I normally run are crossing over, so it'll be an 8-player stream where they have to probably deal with some Vecna cultists, and Zaztam has 2 of the 3 parts of Vecna, and it's it's going fine.
Wow.
Everything's cool.
That sounds like some very serious shenanigans.
It's lots of stuff's going on.
Awesome. Soup, do you have any plugs?
Soup's there.
Yeah. Hi, I'm Soup, aka Soupsica. I'm on Andy's D&D group. Yeah, Vecna's fine. It's fine. No problems here. Tomorrow night, like you said, we're going to be playing Masks. I'm going to be in that game, playing my version of Cassandra Cain. Really excited to do that. And then next week we'll be doing the totally fine crossover event. Yay! But normally on Twitter and Instagram, I'm doing work. I do a lot of drawings of our D&D characters and like scenes from our games, and like occasionally other of my own stuff. So you can follow me on Twitter and Instagram at Soupsica. That's SOUPSUKA.
And let's see. Tomorrow I'm going to be on the Greyhawk channel at 2 p.m. Eastern. Mordenkainen's Path of the Plains. My character and Lux are sort of going out now in every episode. Will they hold hands? Almost held hands last time. Maybe tomorrow it's going to happen for real. And then Thursday, Secrets of Castle Greyhawk, 1 p.m. Eastern Time. The group is in the legendary Castle Greyhawk Level 3. They just met the famous Scary Gygax villain, Obmi the Dwarf. He had a clockwork tank. It was very scary. So and they're actually going to meet the Flame Princess, the Lamentations of the Flame Princess. We're actually going to meet the Flame Princess. It's going to be awesome. And then Thursday night, this will rerun on the D&D channel. Hopefully, they've been having problems with the hosting, so hopefully it won't pop out after a minute, but we'll see. So thank you, everybody in the chat, especially for jumping in there and giving us your ideas. It helps me tremendously, and we can build the Waffle fam community together. Thank you, everybody. We'll see you again next time. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye.
Bye.